Hey guys, if you enjoy the content of my videos, you can like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notices of my uploads of all my videos, and also comment down below. Welcome. This is the Day Show, and I am Day Summers. Today's topic is America's Monetary Foundation, in my opinion, and how it is relevant for African Americans even until this day. And no, I am not talking about how we are the monetary value of the whole entire universe. I am only speaking about America and what's happening now here in this country, in our own little space, not the entire galaxy and solar system. So I'm not going down the rabbit hole at all today on this topic. Thank you. Well, at least not to that extent. I'm not. I'm staying on course with just, in my opinions, with just this country. Okay. The reason why I believe, in my opinion, that we are the African Americans are the monetary foundation of this country. And I know a lot of people disagree with it, and it's okay. But this is just my opinion and my thoughts. Even back since slavery time, since we came on the boat here, we've always been what has generated in the beginnings the money, the income that was needed to help this country grow. I've researched and I even heard a lot of times that we are the original Wall Street, which is a very painful part of history for us, that we were sold and we were done the way we were done for these people to receive monetary gain, for this country to receive monetary gain. I believe that's how our country has always been. And we see it every day. We see it. We see it we even see it in our Constitution. It looks as if it's a business deal. A lot of people don't agree with that, but I see it as that even during that time. How our African American forefathers crafted within such documents as the Constitution, and they were crafty in putting in installations to where we can always come back to it, as we were heirs to what was done to them. A lot of people don't understand that as being a position of power, but somehow they were able to craft that into documents that were whatever would always be used in this country. Now, and I'm only want to clarify, I'm only talking to the descendants of slaves, DOS, African Americans. That's who I am specifically talking about with this video. I know that there have been other groups of people, immigrants and all of that helped shape and do things also, but I am speaking specifically on this video about descendants of African American slaves. That is it. Now, our ancestors, when they crafted this, as them being former slaves, they were able to craft it to where we now still have opportunity and chances on making our voice heard and showing power within the government if we know how to do it right. And this is why I say that we are the monetary value of this country. And we know we have power in it by how we see other groups, other cultures try to use what our our rights for theirs, you know. Like they are always saying that the United States has injustices, injustice. And first thing they say is it the African American culture, but they use it to help their group, their culture, or their people. And I think that African Americans need to take that back and need to be able to deal with having deals and talking to our government and utilizing what's in the Constitution and what's in our rights as people, because everyone else is using it. Why can't we? When this country first founded and they didn't know how to grow things or produce goods or products or anything, because Native Americans wouldn't help them. And I'm saying also Native Americans, I believe, you know, they did get deals and bargains, and a lot of people get angry at me when I say this, but they received deals. They received help. African Americans didn't. We were taken forcibly from our land into a new land. And I believe that, you know, we should help Native Americans. But right now, I think African Americans should help themselves and make themselves strong first. And seeing and being that we understand injustice for so long, we know we need to help other groups, and we will, but we should help ourselves first. The reason why I keep with us being the monetary foundation, like how I said, Native Americans would not help produce goods. That's why we were brought here. They would not help with that European or white man economy. Black people were forced to, and also Africans were forced, and also they were captured from Africa, from other groups of people, like Middle Eastern people, and all these other groups benefited off of us being sold out of our country and being brought to the U.S. So I don't think other people should benefit off of us and coming to America, from us coming to America and being forced to create an economy for the white man, not receiving any money for it. And then again, on the other side of it, be demanded to help other people from other countries that had no say, no type of work into the founding of this country. Now, some people say, okay, the Irish did this and the Italians did that and they did this, but they did this through civil rights legislations and things that were meant for the African American slave and their descendants. And they were coming from countries that didn't do good for them, right? But they were never forced out of their country. They were never stolen. They came here after the country became profitable, and the country became profitable off of the backs of the African American slave. That's just how I feel about it. They really didn't have no type of putting in of the profiting, putting in of the foundation, the monetary foundation. African Americans were, and they were, African Americans were tricked out of a lot of their part of the profiting that was going on, because you had different groups. You had Irish groups saying, hey, we'll help you with this if you help us with that. And black people marched, and black people did, you know, protest and everything like that. And the reason why they did it was because they were influenceable, because they had deals and contracts that were null and void. Even though they had contracts that were sustainable, everyone else's contract is null and void because they got paid. African Americans did not get paid. When you don't pay someone or owe a debt, Doesn't that person at some point have a right to come up to you and demand that, okay, well, you have to pay, or you can do this or this or this or this to bargain with us to somehow repay us or do what you're supposed to do in order to fix this problem or the situation? And we have that. We have that power. I think we should utilize that and use that for our advantage, for our bargaining chips, for what we need to excel for our people. And I think this is what our ancestors did with the founding of this country. They got it in whatever they can get it in at. And I think that this is one of the times that where we need to do that too. We need to know what our power is and what we can utilize. Right now, I believe the Republican Party needs us, and we need to know how to capitalize off of it. I think that we could, and we will, because there are Republicans in there that are trying to institute certain things and certain laws just so that we can get ahead just a little bit, but we get in there. I think we should learn how to use it and utilize it to where we can move a whole lot more forward. The events we have going on now, as it stands, is we are able to get involved with things and get things into legislation and into power that will help the African American community as a whole. We've had all these leaders that have done nothing for us for as long as they could, and got away with filling up their own pockets. Even though some of them might have marched, some of them might have done this, they've done that, but they've only done it to where it benefited them, not benefited the African American community as a whole. We can now, as how Republicans are in a weaker state, they need us. Donald Trump, he needs us. And we should learn and figure out how we can capitalize off of them. Our capitalizing off of them is not going to be as much, but we will get somewhere. We will get into a lot better place than what we are in now. And Donald Trump, well, he's willing to bargain because he needs it. And he knows it's a better investment. We are a better investment than anything because we give more than what we would cost. And a real businessman knows that. Most businesses know that. African Americans are a good investment. So that's why they're not worried about all these other countries. African Americans need to know what they're worth and how to use that to our gain, to make us strong, to make us a force for our community, and to work well with ourselves and to help motivate ourselves. We're worth something. We have an inheritance from our forefathers, from our ancestors in this country, and even in Africa, in the continent of Africa. Those places owe us. And it's up to us to figure out how we can capitalize and get it to where it will benefit us and not everyone else. And those are just my thoughts. I think we should do more of what we have to do to get what we need to get done. And that's just my thought. We need to realize this and start to capitalize off of it right away, studying, researching, and formulating up a plan or action that we could take to capitalize. What are your thoughts? Do you think that other groups of people capitalize off of us and use us because of our rights that we fought for, or that we should just be quiet and just accept things how it is, how everything is? Or, as I always say, this is far more valuable than reparations, or far more costly than reparations. This is an inheritance because they can't pay us back as much as they owe us. No one can. So I believe that it has become an inheritance. It has become an inherited right. Our ancestors created this economy, created this growth, and we are a part of that. And we're supposed to receive what we're supposed to receive. And there's no money value that they can give us. I believe that we owe the land. Just give me your comments, your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thank you.